Hello everyone, this is Dr. Ritu Acharya, the Joint Director of Professional Development from the Rotary Club of Bazaar College. And today we have with us Mr. Oladokun. Hello. I welcome you to this interview and we're so glad to have you here. Could you tell us a little about yourself?
Okay, my pleasure being here. My name is Sola Oladokun. I'm 61 years old. I'm a chartered accountant by profession. I have been in management since 1985, and that's about 36 years ago. It's been a nice journey so far, so good. I am retired in terms of working for people, and I currently practically working for myself as part owner of the Bazaar supermarket chain in Nigeria, which is a retail outlet chain. I am married and I have children. I have traveled widely, almost all the continents.
Wow.
And I enjoyed traveling specifically myself. And I've been to India too, so many times.
Oh, nice. What is your favorite part about India? What did you like?
Yeah, I can confidently tell you I'm currently half vegetarian just because of my my Indian association. I live every day, every work life since since 2016 with Indians. We live together, eat together, do so practically. I've become an Indian by association.
That is very interesting.
I hope that tells a brief history about who I am.
Yes, it definitely does. That was about you, but so how did you come across the job you have? Because it's been a long time. 36 years is not a less time. So how did you come across that, and were you working before that in somewhere else, or how was that journey like?
Okay, I started working with when I came out of the college in 1984 June, and by Nigerian law, I have to undergo a 1-year compulsory national service. Coming out of that 1-year national service, I was employed in an oil and gas company, Lagos, Nigeria, West Africa. And I was there between 1985 to 1989 when I moved down to a pharmaceutical company. I started why in school? Because I read accounting in college. I've commenced and registered with the professional examination body, which is the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. So coming out, my first preoccupation is to get chartered, to be qualified as a professional. And I pursued that between that 1985 and I qualified by November 1986 as a chartered accountant. By which time I was already working with Texaco, Nigeria PSC, which is an oil and gas company. I left them November 1989 to join a pharmaceutical company called Sterling Drug. But in Nigeria, it's called Sterling Products, Nigeria PSC, but the parent company was in USA. And I was with them between 1989 to 1995, when Sterling Products or Sterling Drug Inc. in US and Beecham Pharmaceutical in UK, they merged. So we got absorbed into Beecham. Yeah, so I became a staff of Beecham Pharmaceutical Company. From there, they got merged again with GlaxoSmithKline. and now we became GSK or GlaxoSmithKline. So I metamorphosed from Sterling to Beecham to GlaxoSmithKline. Between that 1989 and year 2002. During that period, I was mentored, I would say. I was opportune to meet a lot of people in my professional journey, people who actually guided me through some of the steps. That's the best thing you can have when somebody have climbed the ladder and is ready to take you along and move you down there. Your journey becomes very, very smooth. That's what I've benefited from. I was a treasury accountant. I was an operations manager, moving out of accounting profession entirely to warehousing, to planning, to settling, production planning. Then I was more back into accounts as a financial controller. Then I became head of accounts. So I left them to venture into a joint private company, which was a trading company from 2002 to 2005, so to 2007. There and then I moved my family from Nigeria, partly to Canada, and in Europe. Okay, so from there I went back into paid job. This time I was headhunted by a telecommunication company, Reliance Telecom, or we call them there in Nigeria as Zoom Mobile. That was September 2007, and I was with them until November 2011. I left them wanting to relocate to Canada permanently, or US to go and stay with the family. Then I was headhunted again back into another telecommunication company, Starcoms PSC. It is from Starcom. I joined them November 24, 2011, and I left and retired there 2015, December. So that's been my working career. Then the owner of the Bazaar supermarket happened to be a very, very close friend, an Indian, and we've known each other since 1996. Wow. We live on the same street. We eat together. The supermarket head office is on the street. And as friends before, we have other relationship, joint commercial interests in other companies that we both own and we are directors together, apart from the supermarket. The supermarket, I just render services pro bono, free of charge, because that's my friend. And I go there to go and take the Indian tea every day, and we have lengthy discussions. Okay. So my plan was actually to leave Nigeria, but he talked me out of it. That just stay, let's stay put here. So in 2017, he practically forced me to come and join the Bazaar supermarket. And I became part of the owner. I became non-executive director. And then by January 2019, I became executive director. And I'm now in charge of finance and strategy and general management. So
that's quite a journey. It's such an elaborate journey. Wow.
Okay. I have been privileged to mentor a lot of people along the line, because that's what I've benefited from. And I still enjoy mentoring, and I'm still mentoring a lot of other people.
So you spoke about mentoring, right? So what was the first lesson you kind of learned when you started to work in so many different organizations? What were a few lessons which you learned as you went through all of these organizations?
Yeah, the first thing is coming out of college, you have this youthful exuberance. You just think everything Yeah, I mean, this sense of entitlement. Oh, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Okay. So you try to impress. You try to for people to see that yes, I am qualified. I'm able to do this. Yes, during that period, you actually work yourself out, so to say. But then it's good for you. Human being who we are, nobody wants to work. You just want to have the best of this life, enjoy this thing. But good corporate setting compels you to observe certain norms and policies that are laid down by the company. And because personally, I was opportune to work with mostly American companies, the discipline is first class, the exposure is first class, the mentoring or the availability in terms of capacity building, training, is just there. And when I said I've traveled wide, every continent I have been to, meetings, training, seminars, this, apart from the professional trainings, which even after getting qualified, you still need to do what we call mandatory control educational program that you need to do specific number of hours you must earn every year to retain your professional status. So all that are the things that as a young man, you are enjoying, you like, but then you don't want anything to disturb your enjoyment at times. But then you need to comport yourself. What are the learnings I've picked out of all this is your attitude matter, the attitude you bring, and then you need to be disciplined, you need to be focused, and you need to comport yourself while maintaining a high level of integrity.
Right. So is there anything you don't like about working in a job? Because you went from like working in jobs to partly becoming an owner. Is that is there a stark difference you find in the two, or do you prefer one to the other? Is that a case, or
no? Nobody wants to be dictated to. Nobody wants to be boxed into. This is what you must do. Yes. So I mean, you came, and that's why I elucidated on the fact that the companies and corporate entities, they have norms, they have policies, they have guidelines that compel you just to follow. You don't like that. I just want to do things, but then you are restricted by certain. So that's one of the things I dislike in
it's too binding, too many rules?
Somebody, too many rules. You can't do this. You have to pass through this process. When you know I can get this thing done in a minute, but then there is a procedure you still must follow. I think that's one major thing I dislike. Well, in terms of exposure, working for other people actually prepares you and give you the grant, a base for you to develop, for your development, and to expand who you are, particularly if that organization is good and allow for people to express themselves, bring a lot of innovation into play. I've been opportune to enjoy that.
Yeah, I find it fascinating that you've done both, because many people actually they'd have to go through a lot of things to switch from one to other. But yeah, it's really amazing. So as you've mentioned, you love traveling, but unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we all kind of had to not go outside of our house for almost 2 years now. But so how did that impact the work you're doing or your attitude towards work? How did the pandemic kind of affect?
Yet 2020 has been, call it a total paradigm shift in everybody's life. Okay. First, the lockdown itself, and people being compelled to work from home remotely. For our own kind of job, which is a retail listing, we were actually, it affected our business massively to the extent that A supermarket is where people go for their grocery or day-to-day requirements and these things. Now they cannot come out.
Yeah.
So we are compelled to look inward and start re-strategize. And to that extent, we came around, okay, doing some online business immediately, and where we go and deliver ourselves, even though we cannot see the buyer, we agree we will drop it in your doorstep, then you pay,
Contactless delivery.
the contact this thing. So I mean, so many things we were able to introduce during that period. The other thing there is because the workforce, you still cannot maintain the number of workforce you need to have on a supermarket floor. So we have to shift and do rotation where by the law, by the guideline, by the protocol, apart from all the COVID-19 protocol you need to adhere to, that you cannot even have more than a third of your workforce. So we have to do a lot of rotation that, okay, if you come today, you are not coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because our fear is that we cannot even downsize or sack people.
Yeah.
If we sack, and I mean, nobody ever thought the pandemic will last this long. We were thinking, oh, this is something that will be 3 months, 6 months. I mean, so
yeah, initially everyone was just like 2 months. It's just a vacation for 2 months.
Exactly. So the point is that we want to keep on the whole of the workforce and just see how we manage ourselves. So it affected the business operation. It affected, of course, the setup itself, and compel some of the basic hygienes that people take for granted before, using mask, washing hands, spray, sanitizer, name it. And the workload changed. Changed in the sense that, I mean, we even for some people, even when people can come, we need to do the social distancing for them. That no, instead of having a supermarket full of people that we desire, that we pray for, now we need to restrict. Only 10 people can come in. You can't be more than that. And even those who are on the queue, you have to do the 2-meter space
and
for
also
social
increase
distancing.
the time and everything.
So, of course, there are other expenses that we need to incur. I mean, all the sanitizer, mask, whatever, we have to give them out free to people who find their way into the supermarket, because you cannot enter without them. You cannot enter without sanitizer. You cannot enter without mask. And these are people who are coming. You don't want to send them back. And then you need to make sure that. So a lot of other expenses we need to undertake, but it's part of the business. But we are still in it, even as we talk. The only thing that now maybe all of us are better at what we are doing now to make sure that we are able to control and restrict the spread of the
that is very nice to hear.
Yes.
I hope the best for it. And
Thank
as
you.
we take your leave, could you maybe just give some advice to people who might be starting work or looking at internships or getting into, working in general?
Yeah, my advice, and even for people that I mentor, has always been, don't be in a hurry. Your time will come. Don't ever be in a hurry. There is no knowledge that is lost, regardless. Just as I've told you, I mean, as a chartered accountant, when I was moved into production planning or marketing planning or warehousing, it's like, why will I? But that's the only way you get prepared for higher responsibility. If you desist or you restrict or object to getting additional thing that is not your own core professional calling, then you are restricting your horizon. You are restricting your experience. So I will advise up and coming young men and ladies just coming to work to be patient, to have open mind that every bit of knowledge you gather matters and they will be useful later in life. Yes, mentoring is good, but you have to make yourself available for somebody who wants to mentor you.
Yeah.
And the person who wants to mentor you will give you guidelines. Don't restrict. Don't think they are being fussy. That's the only way out. At the end of the day, you'll be a better person. Then don't chicken out. There will be problems. There will always be problems. There is nobody in this world without a problem.
Yep.
So you don't run away from problem. You confront problem and ensure you get the right answer. Once you overcome one, another one will come. It will be continuous. Okay. So when you are patient, when you are focused, when you give room to learn every day, because all of us, even myself, I'm still learning and I will continue to learn. All these will be the virtues I want people who are coming on board for the first time going into job to bear in mind, that there is nothing like a fix-it job that you think, I'm going to this job, I will do it my own way. No. Be receptive, be open-minded, and the journey will be smooth before you know you are at the top where you desire to be.
Yes, thank you so much. Those were really inspiring words, and we thank you so much for your time, Mr. Oladokun.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, we take you leave. Thank you.